What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, probably, I don't even know, 3 to 4 weeks maybe, but my event that I hosted is over now, so that took a lot of my time, getting that all set up. Happy to say we raised $2,600 for local veterans in our area, which is really good for where I live. I live kind of in the middle of nowhere, so super happy about that. Got lots of stuff coming up, a lot of parts to take care of. I have some footage from the event, some drone footage. I also got some drone footage of the Jeep when it was cleaned up, which that's all from my best friend, JK Adventuring. If you guys want to look him up, he has a sweet two-door JK build, full custom cage, full hydro, all kinds of fun stuff. So check his channel out. I'm gonna be shouting him out a couple times this video probably. He's gonna be helping me with the gears and lockers. I've never done it. He did a couple sets, and he just did the set in these same exact axles for his two-door. So a huge shout out to him. But in this video, I need to get the ARB system put in. So I got the new twin air compressor. I'm gonna get that put in. I don't know if I'm gonna get to running the lines and solenoids, but I'm gonna try to. That way, whenever I start the gears, either tonight or tomorrow, I'll have the air lines already ran so I can test them before I button them up. But yeah, go ahead and check out the this drone footage I'm about to play, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, now that you guys watch that, it's time to get busy. So I got a plethora. I don't even know what that word means. No, I'm just kidding. But I have a ton of parts over here. So I'll show you what's going on. I'm going to get this ARB mount opened up, the compressor opened up, and start getting ready to get in the Jeep. Okay, so one of the diff covers, front or back, PSC ram for the hydro assist, new frame side bump stops because one of mine is deteriorated and gone. This is the ARB mount, front ARB locker, or I'm sorry, rear ARB locker, rear gears, front ARB locker, new hydro assist lines, manifold for the lockers. This is an extra crush sleeve for the front in case I mess one up, crush sleeve eliminator for the rear. So yeah, we got all kinds of stuff happening. But yeah, let's get these boxes cracked open and start getting this thing installed. All right, guys, here's everything laid out. Metal cloak bracket, the ARB compressor, filters, wiring harness, button, and then the manifold kit. In the locker boxes is the solenoids and everything for the locker. So I'll get them out once all this is hooked up. Because like I said, I would like to get all of that stuff ready. That way, when I start the gears tomorrow at my buddy's shop, JK Adventuring, I'm going to keep shouting him out because he's doing me a huge solid. He's one of my best friends, has a sick Jeep. All the Jeep stuff I do is with him. In my past videos, he's been on there. And obviously, he's going to be in the upcoming one. So, yeah, I want to have everything hooked up and ready. That way, like when we get the rear done, I can just hook the line up, make sure it works, put the cover on, finish it up. So that's the plan. So I have everything laid out. I'm gonna get the hood opened up, and we're gonna start getting this bracket installed. Let's get to it. Okay, so it's gonna be mounted right here. The reason I went with metal cloak is because I have their matching. It's actually for an S-paw, but I drilled and tapped it and put my eBay special switch panel I have. So I'm gonna go through the directions quick, see what I need to remove. I know the horn's gotta go, and start mocking this thing up, getting it mounted in there. Okay, first step is I need to get this bracket. I need to get everything mounted to the bracket first, as per the instructions. There's road work going on out in front of my house. I'm sure you're gonna hear some of that maybe. Hopefully it doesn't pick it up, but if it does, that's what you're hearing. So, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna throw a little blue Loctite on these bolts, because obviously this thing's gonna be vibrating. It should be fine, right? Get these set up with some locks and a flat. So 10 millimeter. And I'm just gonna do a tiny drop on these just to keep them from loosening up. Oh boy, big drop. Big drop. Okay, I'm gonna get all these tightened up. Whoever invented the ratcheting wrench? Good people. Okay. One ARB mounted to a bracket. Okay, I got this all set up. Bracket that goes to the brake booster. Everything's bolted up good. I took the factory horn off, which I'll show you. It's just one 11 millimeter nut. Here's the plugs for it. It was just bolted onto that stud right there. Had to take this bolt out. It said take both these out, but I only had one. So I took this bolt out. Now I need to drill this to 17/32 and install the riv nut that they provided. So that's what I'm gonna do next. All right, so I don't have a 17/32, so I use my step bit, and I drilled it to where this just fits in the hole. So now I can grab a bolt, nut, socket, wrench, and set this riv nut. Okay, ready to put this riv nut in. So this is the setup that they sent, right? So this nut has no threads in it. You throw it on, then the little star washer, which is supposed to grab the riv nut and keep it from turning. Then you just put 11/16 wrench on here and tighten it down, and it should squeeze this into place. So we'll see what happens, I guess. It's working, I guess. I don't know how tight to make it. I guess just an educated guess. Well, the whole thing's still turning. Not tight enough. That's probably why I need new tools. Okay, there it's tight again. I think it worked. Oh yeah, she's crushed. Perfect. That went way better than I thought. On to the next step. So now if I did everything right, this thing should sit in here. Hopefully. Stay right about like that. Man, it's a tight fit, that's for sure. There she is. Definitely a tight fit. Okay. Okay, I think I I think I got everything ready to put in. I had to break the ladder out. I will say, this setup is heavy. Way heavier than I thought it was going to be. Man, what a package. Everything's in the way. Not even gonna be able to put brake fluid in this thing. But that's the amount I got, and I don't have time to get another one, so gonna have to make it work. Just gonna start snugging this stuff up. I got the one the brake booster to deal with. It's not gonna be fun. I don't want this to be tight. I want to still have a little bit of wiggle room, but I want to get it close. I'm gonna try to crawl up in there, I guess, and deal with the brake booster one. I don't even know how to get to it. Okay, so this is a major pain. I got these outside bolts fastened down, tightened down, and I have the hook on the brake booster stud, but I can't get to it to tighten it. So I took the inner fender out, and I'll show you what I'm working with here. So I'm gonna have to get to that bottom one from right there, which isn't bad from down here. So that's what I'm working with. From up here, and it's way down in there. So much stuff in the way. It's a tight package. I mean, it's gonna be a freaking pain putting brake fluid in this thing if I ever need to, which, I mean, you shouldn't unless you have problems, but that's what we got going. So I like the mount. I like that they both match, but I don't know. Personally, I wish I would have put it in the back or underneath one of the seats or somewhere other than right here, because it is it's tight. So I'm gonna get this finished up, finish getting this installed, and then start running some wires for this thing. I also noticed that ARB does not send you an air chuck. I mean, I just spent $700 on this thing, and you can't send me something to, you know, hook my airline into. So, I mean, unless it's in one of these, but not that I see. So, I guess I'll have to buy that extra, which I think is dumb. For spending $700, it should come ready to use. But yeah, I'll check back in once I get this thing bolted in, tightened, and in its final place, and I start to hook up the wiring harness. All right, guys, between the fender well and up top, I got this thing mounted. It's pretty secure. It's a pain, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, 2 people might have made it better, but 2 things. So the little arm that goes down to the brake booster stud, on top, it's a tapered bolt that goes down through underneath the compressor mount. And it says to mount the compressor first, because obviously you can't get to the underneath of it once it's in. So that's what I did, and getting that bolt tight is awful. You have to pull up as hard as you can on the ARB with a 10mm offset ratcheting wrench underneath and try to work both hands at once, and it's not fun. But anyway, it's in there, so now I think I can string out the wiring harness, get it laid where I want it, zipped up, cleaned up, and plugged in. We should be able to fire this thing up. Oh man, the favorite part of everything. Oh man, now we just need to make it work. Okay, so had another strike from ARB. Like, obviously number 1 was they don't give you a chuck to hook in, so you can't even buy this thing for $700 and use it. And the second one was they send you these ends, no terminals. Like, I don't understand that. I guess maybe some people have those blocks on their battery terminals. You can just unscrew the set screw, but I don't know. So I went and bought some ring terminals, got everything out it's supposed to be. This is the main power harness, so it's just going to go to the battery, to the ARB. And then this, which is nice. This is pretty long, so I guess we'll take a strike away. But this is for the one's going to be to power the compressor, one will be for the front locker, rear locker, and the ground. I'm going to trim it shorter because I have the switch panel in the engine bay, so I don't need this thing being 10 feet long. So I'm going to cut it shorter and make it make it to fit. But the next step is getting this power cable put in and getting, I'm not going to hook the battery side up yet. I'm just going to leave it laying by the battery because I won't hook it up until I get the switch wired in. But this one's bigger, so I want to get it in the Jeep, zip tied up nice and pretty, and put where it needs to go. Okay. So, without falling off the tire, I'm going to get this laid up here. So I've got plenty of length, which is good. Okay, that should work. Now we can start running the switch wiring harness. Looks like here's a good spot to cut it. Okay, so here's what it's looking like. I got the power wire ran across the top there. This is the switch wire. So I went ahead and cut it shorter to length so I didn't have a big mess in there because it's already crammed. It's looking like yellow and green are the locker switches, purple is the power, and then black's obviously ground. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook them up to my switch panel, which I already have inside, which is right here. So I'm gonna get that hooked up, and then we should be able to put some fittings in and see if this thing makes air. Okay. All right, I got everything wired in. Here you can see where I have them on my switch panel. Got everything zip tied up as nice as I could. All the plugs are here. It's, like I said, putting brake fluid in this thing is gonna be a project, but everything's about as nice as I can make it, at least for now. I'm gonna go ahead and get some thread sealing out, get all these red caps out, put the air filters on, run the hose from the top of the ARB to the manifold, and then see if I can find anything here to use as a chuck to put on the other side so we can test this thing. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's turning out okay, I guess. Here's the stuff I picked up. I hate messing with the tape, so I picked this up. These are the air filters. I'm going to do them. All of these fittings that go in. These are all 1/4-inch MPT fittings, by the way. So I'm going to get all this set up and put on, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, I'm back. So I got everything buttoned up. I'm ready to try it. So I'll show you what I did. I had to make 2 more runs to the store, and I'll explain why. So, first thing was this 90 was hitting the hood when I closed it. So I had to, and it tells you this in ARB's book, I had to take this cover off, loosen up the manifold, and rotate it, and that seemed to work. So it just touches the hood, but it's enough that it's not putting pressure on it. So I set it down, and whenever it's the whole way shut, I can see it touching it. So I'm going to run it like that for now. Should be fine. All the wiring's done. I took this old truck from my old compressor. I had to go to hardware store to get these 2 fittings because ARB doesn't send that for whatever reason. So I got that all in place, and it's a moment of truth, I guess. So let's get this thing fired up, hopefully. So I got it set for the first button here. Please work. Please work. It's been a day. We got air! Oh, actually, shut off pretty quick. So now we get to listen for leaks. The fan's running. You can feel that. I'm not sure if that shuts off or not. I might just run all the time. Just kind of trying to see if I feel anything. Everything feels okay, so I guess we'll run it and see what happens. But I think that's going to be a wrap on this video. I know it wasn't too informative or how to, but there's tons of videos out there. I got like 2 weeks roughly until Bantam. I don't know if some of you guys are from my area or not. I'm sure you've heard of it. I got this weekend and next weekend to get this thing ready for that. So I want to get the gears and lockers done, which I'm going to do tomorrow. But yeah, we got an air system again. So it's exciting. Now I can air my tires back up once I air down and everything. And most importantly, a source to run the air lockers. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.